Hi, I'm Greg with the New Jersey PTA Board of Directors, and I'm here to present our May Advocacy Moment. The topic that I've chosen to speak to you about is kids, guns, and safety. Now, guns can sometimes be a contentious subject, but I'm not here to talk about laws or policies, so let's set those aside. As child advocates, we can all agree on these three things. Number one, we all want kids to grow up happy and healthy. Number two, we each have the right to make responsible decisions about how to protect our homes, families, and communities, including whether or not to have a gun in our home. And number three, if we can prevent even one child gun death or injury, it is our responsibility to do so. Now, PTAs from all across the country have partnered with an organization called Moms Demand Action. They are part of Everytown for Gun Safety. Moms has chapters in every state in the country, and they do a great presentation called Be Smart, which teaches lessons on keeping children safe from guns. It's important to remember that even if you don't have a gun in your home, or if you are already practicing responsible gun storage, you can't be sure about other homes. You can't be sure about how responsible other people are being. And that is where the Be Smart program becomes helpful. So I'm going to share with you some of those lessons. Now, the SMART in Be Smart is an acronym which I would define for you. Let's start with the S. S is for secure. Secure guns in homes and vehicles. There are 13 million households with children that contain at least one gun. And the majority of children in gun-owning households know where that gun is stored. While school shootings and mass shootings typically make national headlines, the reality is that for children under the age of 13, gun homicides most frequently occur in the home. And we already know that in incidents of gunfire on school grounds, the majority of shooters under the age of 18 obtained that gun from their home or the homes of relatives or friends. We all know that kids are curious. They climb cabinets to get into the cookie jar. They search closets looking for birthday presents. So assume that children and teens can find guns. Store firearms locked, unloaded, and separate from ammunition. Simply hiding a gun is not securing a gun. Now, this lesson is always important, but it's even more timely these days with children home from school due to COVID-19. M is for model. Model responsible behavior. Modeling responsible behavior means that smart adults make sure that kids don't have the opportunity to access guns. While you can't control the environment that your child is in all of the time, you should teach them not to touch a gun if they come across one, whether it is real or pretend, and give them the tools to get out of a dangerous situation and to alert an adult. As an adult, it is your responsibility to do everything you can to prevent them from getting in a dangerous situation to begin with. A is for ask. There are approximately 4.6 million U.S. children living in a household with at least one loaded, unlocked gun. That is why you need to ask about firearms in other homes that your child visits. When children visit a friend's home, parents typically have a conversation to ensure their child's safety. They ask about pets. They discuss food allergies. They talk about car safety seats. Asking about guns in the home should be part of that conversation and should be as natural as asking about any other safety issue. Now, it may seem awkward at first, but try making it part of your general safety conversation. You might even try asking via email or text if you're uncomfortable at first. In fact, here are some great examples from real text conversations with parents. R is for recognize. Let's talk about recognizing the role of guns in suicide. Access to a gun can mean the difference between life and death. We all know how curious children can be, so as they get older and more resourceful, we need to act accordingly. Most people who attempt suicide do not die unless they use a gun. In fact, 85% of suicide attempts with a gun result in death, a much higher fatality rate than any other means of self-harm. So if you own a gun and you know that your loved one is in distress, you might want to consider temporarily removing that gun from your home. And finally, T. T is to tell, and that is the power of being smart. Now, I know because of hosting the Be Smart presentation at my own PTA in Camden County that parents in our community now know to ask about the presence of guns before their children go to other people's homes, and that they have talked to their family members about guns in the home. It's important for others to learn this message. So one way that you can share these lessons is to host a Be Smart presentation at your own school. You can contact Moms Demand Action to schedule a presentation. I also wanted to mention that each year, Every Town for Gun Safety organizes a day to raise awareness of gun violence and honor victims and survivors. They do this by wearing the color orange on National Gun Violence Awareness Day, which is coming up next month on June the 5th. The PTA that I lead organized a school-wide Wear Orange Day at our school last year, and it was great to see so many teachers and students participate and raise awareness of this important issue. You can even order these special End Gun Violence Orange t-shirts for your PTA from shoppta.com. Thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed this month's advocacy moment. Please, everyone, stay healthy, safe, and let's be smart.